Why, Byron? This is why we have you, because you're just
Yeah,
amazing.
it's almost that was almost as quick as Diswood's pit stop, which no, it was quicker actually because I went into the menu as he literally pulled into the pit box, before he'd even left. There we go. We're now back with 1080p quality, and hopefully the audio is absolutely incredible now.
I do have to say that the 1080p on the YouTube, it does look fantastic.
It does. And it doesn't even make your console sound like it's going to blow up, which is incredible.
And Thunder in the pit, so Thunder reacting to Rick Holt when on the next lap here, so we have reached the hour mark now for our Group 1 drivers. They can have a little 1 minute break here as the fuel goes into the Audi.
A 1 minute break, that is a very interesting term. If you are watching the live stream, just let us know how the audio is, because, well, it would be good to just know we have the audio all good and that there's no issues as it stands. Punts is looking great right now on fuel. Absolutely incredible.
The last few laps, though, Bonnie's really been turning it up. Getting that gap now up to 8.5 seconds between them in the battle for first and second in this race.
Yeah, but maybe you're turning it up because you're going to be pitting soon, and eventually, you know, that's going to be a disadvantage if you've got to pit more times for fuel and you've got to spend longer getting that fuel. Punts, he looks like he can run a bit longer into the stint and can take a bit more advantage as Simon comes into the pit lane.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I would have thought that Simon would be looking to go a few more laps on those mediums and with that car and to come in this early.
Interesting.
But yeah, interestingly here though, actually, Byron, one thing we've missed out on is that Rick Holt has actually jumped Thunder in the pits.
Ah.
So Thunder and PFT Racing at the moment running last in class.
Well, it's never a good place to be. At least you're not... I guess the only advantage there is at least you're not behind a Group 3 car. Can't get much worse than that.
That is very true.
Well, Beneval was pushing and putting on the pressure, and now Punts is trying to put on the pressure a bit. He's getting a move on. I'm trying to gain. I'm still annoyed because no one said anything in this stream chat or told me if the audio is good, so I still have no idea. Thank you. That would be ever so helpful if you let me know. You also might want to talk yourself so you know if your audio is good. But here we go. We are on lap 18 of, well, many. We are over an hour into this race. The audio is good, I have been told. And hello, MD.
Yeah, it's alright.
Great.
There's Natty straight away in the chat there, so good to see he's still back. Unfortunately lost some people because, we've had to restart about 3 times, but it is what it is. That gap out in front, though, coming down once again now, 7.4 seconds. Punts 2/10 quicker than Bonnie on that last lap.
Well, yeah, the gap coming down, and, well, I wonder if it's a bit more due to the tyres, and you would expect, though, Beneval should be going a little bit faster, even though there's slightly more degraded tyres, because you've got less fuel, but that's not exactly panning out for Beneval, and it's not losing heaps of time, but not gaining any either, and that's not great, but could be worse, as I'm told that Toussaint audio isn't great, so I've just turned it up a little bit. So we'll see how that maybe makes it a little bit better, because I've just adjusted his audio, because that's something you could do on the PS5. Look, see, PS5 is just obviously that good. Yeah, Beneval out in front here. There's not massive amounts going on as it stands. Holland's still yet to pit. Probably won't be long until we see some more drivers pitting. Just because we're getting to that kind of sort of time. So we have passed the 1 hour mark here. The 1 hour of 6 of which I will be doing just today. And if needed, I might even be here tomorrow to maybe even conclude the event if need be. So
that's weird to think that this race is going to finish tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's still very strange. We're just over 1 hour in, so 23 still to go.
Yeah, so there is indeed a lot still to go. Yeah, still, well, 23 hours left to go in this 24-hour of Le Mans. Do we call it a 24-hour of Le Mans? We'll call it a 24-hour of Le Mans. Let's go for it.
Yeah, sure, why not? 24 hours of Le Mans being hosted from a random house in North London.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got Bonnie gaining once again on another Group 3 car. I believe that is Simon Front, it is, and Yasser Racing on the wheel.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, Holland! Very wide there at the right-hander. He keeps it all on track though.
Interesting. It's fine. I'm getting my you know, that livery I designed for the Gavra 24, which I didn't even, you know, intend to, well, was intended to be raced and then didn't get to. Well, so it's been complimented. I posted some images in the 24-hour GT Sport chat, and it got complimented. So if you do want the 24-hour livery that I did, I will post it if you would like it. Let me know.
That'd be very cool. Team 42 unfortunately had to pull out this morning due to a lack of drivers.
I really wanted you to say lack of financial, lack of finances. Lack of finances, yeah.
They had the car ready and everything.
Yeah. Hopefully I've just turned down my personal audio, so hopefully the echo is reduced, because, well, just let me know if the echo is slightly not so bad. Don't worry, I think I've sorted it, hopefully. Well, currently nearly 20 people watching. This is really good. Should do a Nürburgring endurance race. That would be something I'd be down for.
Interesting thing about that Lime Spark Gaming, I have semi-confirmed that if this race goes well, which at the moment it does seem to be going fairly well, then absolutely we could do a 24 hours of the Nürburgring, and you can actually do that one at night, which could be even more interesting. So, I mean, if this all goes swimmingly, come 2 o'clock tomorrow, I absolutely do not see why we could not have a 24 hours of the Nordschleife.
Yeah. You're not echoing the man who sounds like he's 100 years away from the mic. I'm not sure if he's talking about me or if he's talking about you.
Talking about me. Yeah,
we'll find out. I'll let him comment on who he thinks is 100 years away from the mic, because if he would mind telling us, then maybe we can, you know, sort it out. And then, oh, could be good. I'm still really annoyed that I didn't get to use that livery I designed.
It did look very nice, to be fair.
Yeah.
Seeing here who is struggling on field, Bonnie in the red, Holland's even more in the red. And I think at this point in time, Rick Holt would actually jump Holland in the pits if it were to stay like this.
Yeah, it looks it. Who knows what could happen? They've really not got much to go by if you're saying that. You're not gonna lie. The person who says that someone's 100 years away from their mic, their elaboration is not the main one commentating, the other one.
Oh, me.
That's not very helpful, because we've both talked about a similar amount of time. So I guess you could just, you know, I don't know, we'll figure it out. So we've got some incredibly vague comments coming. As we get an apology. No problem at all.
We're kind of stuck between between a rock and a hard place at the moment, because if I turn up the mic volume, then it's going to sound like I'm on runway 27 at Heathrow. But, you know, if I keep it low, then you can't hear me. So it's either, oh, Bonnie's in the pits, never mind, ignore me.
Right, okay. Let's see how that changes it. Yeah, Bon Evil in the pits leaves Punts out in front. Let's see how that is. I've just adjusted it, so hopefully that should be a little bit better. Yeah, it should be incredibly, quite a bit better. It sounds fine, adds a different style to commentary. I don't think the 100 years away from the microphone approach was exactly what we were going for with the commentary, but you know.
Apparently it works and people like it.
Apparently.
Alright, so Bonnie in the pits, let's see how much fuel he chooses to slot into that Audi R18. The BCMR car. BCMR, of course, winning the Constructors' Championship the last 2 seasons in GT Sport Group A. As they're looking to seal up another win, I suppose, in the 24.
Yeah.
Just gonna turn my mic volume up a bit, see if that makes it any better. Apologies for the PlayStation noises.
I think I've already done it. I think you were fine as you were, mate.
Okay, cool.
I just
up a bit more, just in case.
Wow.
Right then, so Rick Holt then now 9.9 seconds only behind Bonnie. So Rick Holt has really managed to bring his team back into this race, as now this is Holland Campion, who stayed out for another lap on those soft tyres. He's to Bonnie on this lap, and even more time to Punts, who stays out in front as it stands. But will he be able to make it to the halfway point on one stop?
I think potentially.
I think 18 minutes to make it on one more stop, this Punts has.
Yeah, you gotta remember though, as you get later into the race, you're gonna start losing a little less fuel, a little less tyre wear, so as you get deeper in, because the car's lighter, it's gonna be a little bit better, and I think a little bit easier for some of the drivers. So maybe the one stop is the way to go. Maybe it's not though, who knows? I mean, we certainly don't, and neither do you, so sit down and figure it out.
As we've got Diswood and UNEM Maverick very close together out on track once again, and where have I seen this before? Currently separated by 1.5 seconds. UNEM though, or that team, taking, well, having a lot less fuel at the moment than the Track Stars team.
Well, this is certainly looking very interesting as it stands. We're certainly looking at could be looking at a very interesting and vastly different race in approximately, well, 22 and a half hours.
Lee is off and nearly into the barrier there on the exit of the right-hander.
Yeah, I actually want to know, how are you going to work the safety car if need be? Does it come out during the race?
No, it doesn't come out during the race, that was just the start, yeah, don't worry.
Okay. I was like, how would that be if there's an on-track incident? Is there a safety car that just kind of vibes, or, you know?
It's just kind of vibes out there, you know?
Yeah, just kind of... I thought it was like going to pull off to the side of the track and just stay there for like the entire stream. Or like wait until there's an incident.
That would have been interesting, but I feel like it would have caused quite a massive crash at some point.
Yeah, someone runs a little bit wide and crashes into the safety car. Oh dear!
That would not be great.
What do you even do at that point? You crashed into the safety car. Outrageous.
I have absolutely no idea. I think you probably have to ask a very unlucky racing driver. As Holland now makes his stop, going to come out way behind Rick Holt here. As Rick moves himself now up into P3 overall, and Holland going to be out behind his main rival in this race, Thunder, as well, as he exits the pits. Thunder going through turn 1 now, and yeah, Thunder's out ahead of him.
Yeah.
Oh, a Thunder very late move on Lee's at the chicane. and that's forced both drivers off, and now Holland through the middle almost makes a move there, but I have to back out of it.
Yeah, interesting stuff going on kind of early on in this stint. Drivers kind of not figuring out how they're going to get the moves. Holland's now past Thunder. So up into fourth goes Holland with 1.1 seconds of penalties, though. Not a great position to be in exactly, but you've got that track position, you have that advantage. But can Thunder respond? Oh, Holland has the better tyres and more fuel. They literally, by the seams of it, just came out the pit lane, so very interesting indeed. Early on here, punts. These Australian drivers running right now, bearing in mind for them it is about 3 in the morning.
Yeah, but the good thing about a 24-hour race is that at some point during the day it's going to be night and daytime for everybody, so
it's a fair point. That. Indeed. I just thought, you'd give them the night stint, to the kind of,
well, I think
where it's night time for them, most people.
They're all Australian though on that team is the problem. So no matter what, someone's going to get the someone's got the short end of the stick of driving at what is currently 3:20 in the morning. Oh no, there we go. Actually, disjointed in the chat saying it's 12:20 a.m. So not too long after midnight for them over in Australia. I have no idea what part of Australia they're in, but yeah. Interesting stuff, but great to see that we've got a massively diverse grid here in terms of nationality for this race.
I mean, you could say that, but you've got an all-Australian team.
That is true, but in terms of the Group 1 field, you've got a lot of different nationalities.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Thunder and Holland reigniting their battle once again. Thunder looking at it on the inside going into Indianapolis, backs out of it.
Yeah.
Was Holland getting all kinds of out of shape there as well?
I'm noticing that Indianapolis seems to be a bit of a hotspot corner for potential overtaking manoeuvres.
Indeed it does. But now look at how the Porsche walks away down this straight. Thunder has got no chance to counter that until we probably get to the Mulsanne on the next lap. Now the dirty air through this part of the lap is going to be very high.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Obviously there is a slight pace difference, and it is certainly showing very interesting. I am still in awe with the McLaren of Rick Holt.
He's still your favourite livery on the grid.
Other than the Team 42 one, which never got to race, unfortunately.
If you can't count that, it didn't actually race.
Yeah, but that would have been my favourite livery had it raced. I mean,
Thunder,
I did design it.
Byron. Thunder being a very naughty boy in the final few corners, cutting out one of the chicanes, and he's picked up a 2.3 second penalty for his struggles.
Well, you cut the corner, you get penalised. Oh dear, is what I've got to say to that.
But then anyway, you were saying?
I was going to say, if that livery had raced, that would have been my favourite livery. But I kind of can't, because that livery didn't race. So, for me, it's got to be the McLaren. It just works. That's my favourite Group 1 livery, I think. For the Group 3, I mean, I just realised that...
I like all of the Group 3 liveries. I love all of the Group 3 liveries.
Yeah,
this got that past Maverick in there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, I really like Maverick. That livery, it pops a lot. And Simon's too. I think that's got to be my favourite too. And no, we are not watching Formula E, because Formula E is bad.
I disagree with the Formula E is bad, but we're not watching it because this is better.
Obviously, yes. I'm not a Formula E fan, so... I just don't like the engine sound. Like, why does it sound like a horrible screeching? That's my Formula E engine impression, and you will never ever hear it again.
Radio Byron 92.3 FM. Oh, as Rick Holt's off at Mulsanne corner, but he keeps it out of the gravel.
Sad Formula E noises, apparently. Well, that's what my... No, I disagree.
He's saying Formula E is greater than Formula 1. That's controversial.
See, I don't like Formula E. I don't like it. But if you like Formula E, you can like Formula E. But I just know that you are not my friend. That's all this needs to be said. You are not my friend if you like Formula E, unfortunately.
Like hide and seek says cargo re.
Yeah.
Formula E. I genuinely can't think of a bad Formula E race. Like objectively speaking, I really can't think of an actually bad Formula E race.
I mean the racing's good, right? But the sound of the car is terrible, and what the hell is your safety car? Like, why have you got a Mini as your safety car?
Yeah, the mini safety car is a bit dirty.
I think we should get a Mini safety car for the Gavra 24 hours of Nordschleife.
Evan's asking you to stop saying Formula E engine because they're batteries.
Oh, well, Formula E engine. Formula E engine, right?
Somebody doesn't like doesn't like when people don't capitalise things. You haven't capitalised formula in that particular comment. So, it's not just Josh Roaring doesn't capitalise things, is it? So there you go.
Oh, I just can't get behind that sound. Other than that, I think it's pretty good. Oh, and maybe that Mini safety car, which I don't like either. But yeah.
As Punts is really trying to stretch this out to just the one stop in this lobby. Got 9 minutes left to run on the clock, so if he's got more than 3 laps of fuel, which he might, then could be doing this on one stop, which could be a big advantage heading into the rest of this race.
Oh.
Evan, Evan, I said that for someone who gets annoyed when people don't capitalise things, you haven't capitalised formula in the message that you just sent. So I said it's not just Josh Warren.
Oh. Well. Oh well. Is all I've got to say to that.
It's not just Josh Warren, that is a tongue twister and a half there.
He's a good content creator.
He's a good content creator, to be fair. Alright, anyway, we digress. Back to Le Mans. Punts currently leads the way, has been leading the way for the last few laps now, but out of sync with the drivers around him. We're seeing if he can make this a one-stop affair at the moment.
Yeah.
Lee's saying that he spun. Try to not spin.
Yeah, try not spin and then no problem. If you don't spin, no problem. Don't spin.
If you don't spin a lot, you'll execute the Ferrari master plan.
Exactly.
Oh, we could talk about something controversial actually, chat. All 19 people here. Hopefully this won't get too annoying. Verstappen or Hamilton from last week. How about that? Let's get some reaction in the chat.
Ooh.
There you go. Oh, they see, as I said that, the number of people in the chat just went up to 20.
It's obviously because it's a controversial topic, isn't it?
Exactly, controversial topic.
They get the views. Controversial topic.
This is the test now. As Simon and Lee's actually out on track, battling over 8th and 9th. But I think that Lee's actually a lap down. He's still fighting this hard. With Simon, he's gone defensive into the next corner. Simon still can't get past. As now down the Mulsanne straight. Lee's moving around. Oh, Simon bumps the back of him. And can he make a move on the outside? Oh, he's bump drafting him here actually. Down the Mulsanne straight, trying to gain a little bit of time perhaps on the cars in front. So I'm going to look to the inside or outside. No, just going to sit there in the slipstream, bumping the Porsche along. Going to move to the inside now, though. Lees puts the squeeze on, brakes later. Nothing that the BMW can do at this point in time. Oh, as Lee's very slow off the corner exit there, and now Simon in the slipstream once again. still just bump drafting that car down the straight.
Yeah, well, interesting. Oh, this is...
Oh, but now look at Simon on the outside going into the next north-hand chicane. He's on the dust, he's on the dirty stuff, but pulls ahead of the Porsche before they even get to the braking zone. And then Simon, oh no, there's contact! There's contact, and Simon's why he's in the gravel. Luckily, no damage done to either car, but that was a big...
Oh, Simon's gone round!
Yes, Simon spun round, and that's our first incident of the 24. I'm sure if Atom Racing send that into the stewards, I'll be having a look at it.
Yeah, well, I mean, in my opinion, Lees should have backed out of that he was being lapped, should have given way, and chose not to, and that resulted in an incident, and certainly one that could have been avoided, big time.
Yeah, I'm just going to put it in the chat here, actually. Because obviously we've got that on stream, and I technically am a steward, so I think I'm allowed to do this.
Oh well, if you're not, oh well. I didn't pass, and I was too late on the brakes. Says Lee. Well, Punts is still out in front. However, he's now losing time to Benevil. But still looking to do the one stop, probably.
This was my fear, actually, because... oh, Porsche, yeah, there you go.
Did you have to look at the driver number on the side of the car?
Yes, I did. Then I realised something. The Porsche and the BMW, they both have 22 as their number. So I was like, this is my fear. So I just put the car type as well. But, yeah. I will clip that and send it to the steward's chat.
Oh, interesting. Well, Benevil currently with the fastest lap, a 1 minute around here would be a very astonishing lap time. No, a 3:21.189 for Benevil 99, who is currently second, but kind of provisional first, because eventually Punts will have to pit, but likely a one stop for Punts, unlike probably Benevil, who might have to do a two stop. Unless you're on the hards, which you can't have, can you? The hards aren't an option. So, yeah, interesting. Yeah, those soft compound tyres coming alight for Benevil. 30 seconds ahead is Punts in provisional P1. Obviously, the results from all 8 lobbies, if I'm correct. Can I math? Yes, 8 lobbies. The results come the end of race 8 will be the final result. It's crazy to think that whilst I'm sleeping tonight, 3 of these lobbies will be done. And well, about 27 drivers will have raced whilst I was sleeping. Unless they do double stints, at which point, you know, whatever. There's not too much going on track right now. Hence...
Well, I mean, with not that much going on out on track, maybe then we can have a look again at the controversial statement in the thing. Alright, Kasim he says that Hamilton should be stripped to this 7-word silence and suspended for the rest of the season. Yes, definitely, Crypto. He definitely should, really.
Right. Car 22 is Lee's 2000.
Yeah, that is Lee's 2000 in the Porsche.
Well, I think, right, in the Hamilton-Verstappen incident, I think both of them could have done more to avoid the incident, for sure. do I think the penalty was fair? I do feel he potentially deserved more, but Verstappen did also play a part in the incident. Verstappen could have maybe given him a bit more room, but, you know, on the last two occasions where they've been very close together, Hamilton has basically given Verstappen the space, you know, basically just let him through. I think Hamilton's done just letting Verstappen through, and he wants to fight it. So that's why he was very aggressive. It did end up in a collision, I think. But, you know, ultimately, I think, you know, eventually they were going to come together at some point and probably put one or both of them out of the race. Do I think it was fair the way it happened, with Hamilton not really getting, you know, any big disadvantage from it? No, I think potentially should have been maybe a drive-through or stop-go, but ultimately, you know, he did have to fight for it, you know. So
as we've been chatting here, Byron, something quite big has happened. Now with bumper and engine damage on lap 26 of the race, I believe he's had a collision with Lees, who also has front bumper and front right suspension damage.
Apparently the brake didn't work according to Lees. And
oh, that is a problem. Holland almost hitting the back of the Atom Racing car there, I think, as well.
Interesting. It wasn't a 5-second time penalty. It was a 10-second time penalty, and apparently
it
Lees
was a
broke.
10-second time penalty. Yeah. I feel like
yeah,
if he may, yeah.
Apparently, the brake is not working for Lees.
The brake is not active. Okay, so in that case, we may have our first retirement from the race, unfortunately, if Lees can't get that fixed.
Pulls into the pit lane. It looks fine though. It's showing that the brake pedal is applying.
I think the problem is that it's going on at the same time as the throttle, so he's not actually slowing down.
Or if he is, it's slowing down very little. Significant damage on the front bumper of Thunder. And obviously the engine damage. I'm not sure how you actually get engine damage. Apparently it's working now. And refueling going on there for Thunder. And Lees is also in the
surprised to see that Thunder's put that much fuel in. Could that be now, after seeing what Punts has been able to do, might they be trying to also get to the end of the race?
I think you've got to gamble. It's clearly an attempt at a gamble. Also, Lees is losing a massive amount of time there. But
quite a nice shot there, both of the track stars cars in this race going for Indianapolis.
Interesting. Well,
DJSX pointed saying, yeah, but you never make a move and everyone knows that. Well, that's actually incorrect, because Hamilton and Bottas went through there, Norris and
Hamilton.
Who is it? Norris and Ricciardo went through. Norris and Ricciardo. Norris and Hamilton went through there. Leclerc and Hamilton went through there. The point, I mean, Prost and Senna even went through. That was in '93. So there's no corner on a track where you're not allowed to make a move. And,
yeah, I think
that's just racing.
You know, it is hard to make a move there for sure. Like, we're not gonna. Personally, like, I was watching it live, and
were you there?
No, I wasn't there. I watched it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I have been to it. But I just, when you're watching it, you know, it was like they both could have done more. It was a nasty incident for sure, but you know, what's happened has happened, and ultimately, I think it's actually better for the fans the way it's happened, because it spices up that championship massively. And you know, that's better for the fans. You know, we don't want one driver to walk away with it, and I think that's what Verstappen was in a way doing. You know, and I'm not going to say, you know, he doesn't deserve the title, because he is certainly working for it. But now it's closer. It does just make it better, and it means there's more tension, there's more drama. It is better for the fans, it's better for the sport, because if it goes down to that last race, or the last few races, the tensions are high, it keeps the viewership numbers up, it in a way keeps the money coming in as well. Like,
well, put it this way, everyone's talking about Formula 1 right now, aren't they? So there you go.
Exactly. You know, it's very hard pressed that you don't find a bit of news coming out regarding it. You know, just yesterday they revealed that the accident has cost Red Bull £1.8 million, which is a lot, by the way.
Nah, that's just pocket change, mate.
No, because they're capped to 138 million.
That is true as well, yeah.
So that's about 1% of their budget. Gone.
Oh, Bonnie! Cutting across the front of the track star's car. That could have been a very big accident.
I wasn't even noticing that. But yeah, like, I think Formula 1 is certainly exciting at the moment, with the current drama. But my main thing is, get Russell at Mercedes.
Yes, preach, bro.
It is just, it's needed at this point. I think he's earned his place there, and they just seem so reluctant to. They're like, but we want to make sure Bottas's career is safe. It's like, no, you don't. You want the best driver. Get your Russell in your car. But Toto's at the Formula E race.
That would make sense. I mean, well, Susie Wolf, she's managing Venturi there, isn't she?
Indeed. I just really want that Russell at Mercedes.
I should probably put in the chat again there, that incident.
Ponce has come in over the halfway mark.
So it is going to make this into a one-stop affair then.
Question is, medium or soft tyres? I'd guess soft, because those softs have made it convincingly. Beneval now ahead.
What do you think of Bottas being in talks of Alfa Romeo? I think that potentially could be a move that Bottas sort of needs, to be honest. So go to a team where he is going to be the undisputed #1 driver, really.
I actually
think that if I were Bottas, I think I would probably go looking elsewhere, to be honest.
I would actually, sorry, I would personally put Bottas back at Williams.
That could also happen. That could also definitely happen. I think a driver who knows how a top team operates is always going to be an asset to back of the grid team.
Yeah, it's interesting, for sure, and I'd be interested to see how it kind of shapes up. If he did go to Alfa Romeo, does he replace Kimi? You'd think so, but you know, has Giovinazzi proven his worth? That is my question for you. Has Giovinazzi proven his worth to the point where he should stay there?
I mean, for me, if I'm looking at Alfa Romeo next season, I would personally want Giovinazzi and Ilott. for me. So I feel like Ilott deserves a shot at F1. It's tricky though because with Oscar Piastri doing so well in F2 at the moment, if he then goes and wins in F2, it's kind of like, well, what do we do with these two drivers? Because they're two very capable drivers.
Yeah, yeah. Decisions. Please don't put your defense in game chat.
No, yeah, because people are trying to concentrate. So, I mean, like, penalties and, like race updates will go in there, but please don't put your defense about incidents in the game chat, because people are trying to concentrate.
Yeah, well, I'm intrigued by the current ongoings here.
Who and what is under investigation? So, car number 22, which is the Porsche currently being driven by Lees, under investigation for causing two incidents. One was with the Atom Racing BMW, and the second one was with the PMT Group 1 entry, and that is why they are under investigation, Spa-Concept. Oh, another beautiful shot of the two Track Stars cars together out on the circuit. Well, let's see. I'm going to go spectate Punts. He's just overtaken his Group 3 sister team in his pursuit now of Holland Campion, who is currently in P3 overall. And it actually really closed down that gap to Rick Holt here, Byron.
Yeah. This is interesting. I think Punts has a really good chance here of a good result, as he does just pick up a penalty. So clearly not all too swimmingly, but...
yeah, Spark on Senate. I put in the chat, I did say number 22 Porsche, but I could see why that could, I could see how that's very interesting. Confused me. No, don't worry, you're not under investigation, Spark on Senate.
Well, just a quick update for you. Lees is 21 minutes behind provisional P1 as it stands.
Oh, no, that's to Bon Evil. Sorry, I thought that was to the next cars. There's no way.
No, that is to P1. So 21 minutes behind Bon Evil is, well...
see, this wood is 10 minutes behind Bonnie. And UNEM, Team UNEM is 11 minutes and 35 seconds behind Bonnie.
Proven it's been a pretty dismal race for Lees. Could get even worse with some potential penalties. So yeah, interesting stuff going on here. Bon Evil looking pretty strong early on. Rick Holt, he's looked pretty good, but he's not in the greatest of positions, and Holland is just doing Holland things. And, well, Punts is potentially looking to pounce. Haha, comedian.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Yes, we have really stooped that low. Who, by the way, just quickly, who is hosting lobby number 2?
I am also hosting lobby number 2 because I am driving in that.
Ah, so I can make
digs
into your slow performance.
Oh, wow, thanks. Yeah, sure, if you want.
I didn't plan on, but I might as well whilst I'm here. Well, pretty interested to see how this could potentially go. I think this is all very, very interesting stuff here. And really could be very spicy, I think. Yeah, spicy. As always, we always get a bit of drama, and well, we could see exactly that in the later stages. I actually do wonder though, what is your pace like, 2 cent?
It's not too bad. I think around this track, the best time I did was a 3 minute 19.2. I did that like last week at some point.
Oh, Ponce has clipped a barrier. No damage by the looks of it. Just clipped a barrier with the side of the car. Not great.
Doesn't seem to have slowed him down too much.
No, he doesn't really. He still looks very strong early on here. Thunder is a whopping minute down on Ponce right now. I'm trying to figure out.
That will be the fallout from the crash with Lee's there for PMG Racing. So they have been sent to the back of the Group 1 field as it stands after fighting for P3 and starting in P3 at the beginning of the race. So Bonnie still leads the way, but does also have another stop to make in this race.
You would assume so. Well, that's going to be one hell of a strategy if you manage to somehow get that to the end of the race. Bon Evil just picked up half a second of penalty. Rick Holt, obviously currently the person who could potentially... Was it? No, it's Ponce who could potentially do the one stop. And does look really good to do it, actually. 1 hour 45 in. And, wow, absolutely incredible on the fuel and tyres as well. Those tyres are barely even worn at all. Practically good as new.
Yeah, exactly. And they're looking really good on the tyres of that particular team. Going back down here to our Group 3 field. Diswood's still leading the way there by about 49 seconds now, back to Team UNEM. I'm pleasantly surprised by how close our Group 1 field is here, though.
Yeah, I am also pleasantly surprised. I thought someone would just walk away with it, but there's a bit of strategy play here. There's, you know, it's still very, very close, despite... Oh, that's a lovely camera angle there. You see all three cars who are very quite close together on the same screen. Anyway, I was just going to quickly say I'll be back in just a moment, and because yes, I'm going to the toilet.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes. I've got it on Holland because he's basically got the closest two cars near him. So yeah.
So yeah, Holland Campion in the Virgin Racing team there, doing his best to close the gap up to the car in front of him. Currently Rick Holt, Holland doing a really good job to actually bring that gap down from about 8 seconds to just under a second now. We'll be feeling the effects of slipstream as well behind this fellow Porsche as I head into the Porsche curves, funnily enough, for the 31st time in this lobby. Oh, as Rick Holt very wide, but that could be another penalty for the Dutch driver. Indeed it is, and that the two Dutchmen now close together on track. 1.1 seconds separates them, so Holland losing a little bit of time in the final sectors there. And now 0.6 of a second only separating the two as they head up into the Dunlop chicane. Can Holland go for a move here? Nope, just stays behind the Porsche. Now down the hill they plunge. Oh, as Holland in the dirty here, they're going very wide onto the Mulsanne straight. That could be a penalty for Virgin Racing. Indeed, it is a 1 second time penalty there, so a little bit harsh maybe from the game, but that is the way that it is. As now Holland gaining all the time in the slipstream, although backs out of it and puts his car up into fuel mode 6. So trying to save some fuel there is the Dutch driver. Oh, it's now Holland and Rick Holt wheel to wheel, and Holland actually overtaking Rick Holt there. Rick dives back into the slipstream. He's going to try and get a straight line speed advantage over on this fellow Dutchman. So yeah, Holland starting to pull away at the front here as well as one of the PMT drivers joins the lobby. Holland going a bit wide actually there on the exit of the right-hander, and now Rick back in the slipstream once again, going into the Porsche curves. Will he go for a move here? On the inside perhaps into the fast right-hander? No, does not go for a move. Why does he backs out of that? As a Punts now also closing onto the back of this battle for P2 on track. To try and overtake Rick Holt. Rick starting to fall back a little bit here. You can see his tyres are absolutely shot here at this late stage in the first stint. So now down the hill they plunge once again. The Toyota does have the worst top line speed. Oh, straight line speed of the three cars, as at least keeps nicely out of the way there of these three cars in Group 1. And now down the back straight they head. Rick Holt will be getting some slipstream there behind Holland Campion as well. Punts were getting some from both of them, so double slipstream for the Toyota. These Group 1 cars still so close together here, even now as they're coming up to lap some more traffic. Holland's going to get around them, they're going to get around them nice and safe there for these three, and they're going to go three wide even maybe down this straight into the Molzan corner. Holland's going to go defensive on the inside, but here comes Punts on the inside of both of them, and he's on the dirt now on the dusty stuff, and they're going to go three wide here. Oh, and Punts is off the road, he's on the grass. No damage done to either car, but Punts are having to get out of it on the grass in trying to get past Holland Campion. That was very, very dicey there between those two, but it's not going to be over now for the Australian as he hunts down the Dutchman down this back straight and in towards Indianapolis corner. Can he make a move on the Porsche? Just losing more and more time behind these two. Pulls out to the left-hand side of the track, right-hand side as we look at it, going round the outside of Holland, and he gets the move done. Punts goes back up into P2. An amazing battling there between those drivers. Great stuff.
Ah, returned I have, and it seems like there's been a bit of action here.
There has, yes. Punts just got past Holland and Wiggly Rick Holt.
Yeah, it seems like that's a pretty recent thing, because the gap is still pretty close between them. So yeah. And someone is just eating M&Ms, as we've been politely informed in the chat, which I can only agree with. M&Ms are incredible.
They are indeed incredible.
Woody.
He would like some M&M Spark on summer. Oh, as a Holland champion in the pits with bumper damage. Where has he picked that up?
Probably from that incident. I'm getting overtaken, I guess. Yeah, I would like some M&Ms, please. Also, I realise how much my voice is definitely going to hurt come the end of this stint. I'm not sure I'll have any voice left, is the honest answer. Also, what a great introduction there from Evan.
He just not smashed my door.
You do not fuck smash my door.
So, punts then, 32.6 seconds behind Bonnie as it stands. You think it's about 43, 45 seconds for a pit stop? That's full tyres and fuel. So it'll be interesting to see how far Bonnie comes out behind punts at the end of all of this.
But also, remember, Bonnie doesn't have to fuel the car entirely.
No, that is also very true. So I think at about the 1 hour mark we'll have, what's 6 divided by 3, about 20 laps to go, roughly. And we've done about 34, because these stints should be about 54 laps roughly, so we even have less than 20 laps to go. So yeah, Bonnie does not have to fill the whole car, so in theory it will take a lot less, and the gap could be even closer, which is good because then we'll get better racing.
Yeah, well, so a lot of laps that are going to end up being done over the course of it. Bearing in mind, there's 8 stints. So, let's say just round it down because, you know, there's slower laps. So we'll just do 50 laps per stint, which would equal, over the course of the next 24 hours, estimated we could do about 400 laps of the Circuit de Sarthe, and all of them will be streamed.
Well, having to change the streamer halfway through, but yeah, that is the plan. We've streamed 34 laps of 400 and something by now, so there you go.
Indeed.
As a Holland champion getting all kinds of out of shape there as well. Having a look at our Group 3 field once again here, actually. I think Dixwood's made another pit stop in there. Just getting some blue flags. That must be for Bonnie, I assume. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. This is shaping up to be a very, very interesting race. According to the timing screen in the lobby, Holland is leading ahead of a Group 3 car. Well, I don't know.
That's because they've joined halfway through the race, so it's just taking them across the line first. But yeah, we know it's actually Bonnie who's leading the race, so it's fine.
Obviously. Oh, obvious.
So last lap was a 3:22.8 for Bonnie. Let's see what Punts does.
Oh, massively wide from Holland. That was mega wide. Caught that live on stream. I was like, so far wide. It was crazy.
Punt's half a second quicker than Bonnie on that most recent lap, so it's now potentially the time for Bonnie to come into the pits, get on a fresh set of tyres, get some fuel in, and then go and become the hunter and not the hunted.
Yeah, but is Bonnie, you know, maybe getting penalties and being slow, potentially being held up as he is now by Maverick. So, you know, there's more than one factor, I think, at play as to maybe why Bonneville could be 5/10 slower. You know, you can't take it with a grain of salt when, you know, Punts is quicker on one lap because, you know, they're very closely matched on pace. So, it could be, you know, a fluke per se, or a one-off kind of bad lap. Although I do say that significantly slower through sector 2, and yeah, interesting. I also forgot what my buttons are on the screen.
Right, yeah, so just over an hour to go in this first stint, so we're 2 hours into the 24 here at Gavra Racing. A momentous occasion. I think this is the second time that we've ever done this, a 24-hour race around Le Mans. Last time we did it was on Project Cars 2, and that was many, many years ago. But yeah, still going strong, most of our teams here, and yeah.
Yeah, nearly 2 hours in, which is crazy. Just that shows the commitment of some people, considering I'm only 2 hours into 6 or potentially 9 if I do a stint tomorrow. Because I quite fancy doing the final stint, in all fairness. You know.
We'll have to wait and see how things pan out for that stint. I don't see why not, unless I think Dan might be doing it.
No, you're doing. You're there as broadcasting the final stint tomorrow.
Sorry, I am broadcasting, yeah.
So I might as well join you, broadcast it with 1080p 60 FPS, and you know, there we go. Could always do that.
And also make sure you head over to xnattyg on Instagram. He's posting loads of updates about the race so far. I'm also keeping up my and talking about my own team, but yeah.
Yeah, well, you're saying about how he's posting loads of updates. No, he's posting updates about his own team. So, interesting. I will agree on that occasion. Certainly could be very, very interesting indeed. Punts is, well, looking very good now. Still very little wear on those tyres as well, and I do really actually quite like the Track Stars livery. The liveries are all too good, in all fairness. Some of them are really good, and there's some that aren't. So I'm not a massive fan of the Benevils one, just because I'm not a big fan of the half and half liveries.
You're not an asymmetrical kind of guy.
I am an asymmetrical. I do like, obviously, the McLaren. That's probably still one of my favourites. The Virgin one appeals to me, but it's not got many sponsors. It looks a bit bland. Just, you know, and it's got the burgundy kind of vibes, or it goes from like the red to the kind of burgundy at the back, and I didn't like that either. I mean, if Thunder more of a light green with the kind of like the Bourne GP kind of fluorescent green, then that would have been a lot better. But you know, and honestly, I don't think I can really say much about the Group 3 liveries because they look very good. Other than maybe Lee's one, I don't like that one too much.
F1 is also posting updates as well, so make sure you go check Evan out. He's going to be doing he's recently clocked over to 5,000 followers, sorry, not 5,000 subs, he wish he had 5,000 subs. Yeah, but actually, shall we get Natty in to do a quick little interview, because I know he's watching. So
sure.
Yeah, I'll add Natty to the party, and we can talk to one of the competitors in this race. So I'm just find him on my friends list here. I'm just going to mute my mic for a sec.
Well, we are looking very strong on lap number 36.
Right.
Very alive. Oh, Evans just thanked me for the follow I've given him on Instagram. So, no problem at all. Punts now. trailing by 29 seconds from Beneval. Beneval obviously has to make that second stop in this race. You're definitely going to have to make another stop. Don't think you're going to be able to go that long on 25% fuel. Yeah, certainly got some interesting stuff to go over as we are moving through the laps. Here, lap number 37 for
and here he is, Mr. X Natty G, aka NDN Gaming. Alright, can you hear us, Natty?
Hello, guys.
Hello, right, let's just see if we can actually hear you in this stream as well. That'd be a good.
Good idea. We've learned our mistakes from last time.
Yeah, we have learned our mistakes, and we can indeed hear Mr. X Natty G. So, Natty, Holland's currently racing for your team out there in P4. I think it's going for him at the moment. You happy, or wish you were a bit further up?
Yeah, it was a good start, I'd say. Nice battles with Thunder, Rick Holt punts as well. Rick Holt currently in the pits. We're monitoring his lap times over the past few laps. Unfortunately for Holland, got front bumper damage with a Group 3 car, but trying to get him out in front of Rick Holt. We didn't hit the tyres, we kept the same tyres on his car. That's just to try and get us front, which is what we've been trying to do. But interested actually by the pace of punts. That Toyota really quick, it was surprisingly quick than we were expecting, saves a lot of fuel. So interesting strategies from him.
Yeah, definitely so far. You're hopping in the car, I believe, later tonight, aren't you?
Yes, the third stint. I think it starts at 8.
Yeah. So, for your team, what do you think your targets are for this race? You still going for the win? You're trying to just consolidate this kind of P3, P4 position that you're in right now. So I think you got that bad luck with a bit of contact there in the Group 3 cars you were saying.
Yeah, I think this race definitely podium is the target. Rick Holt on fresh tyres behind. Hopefully Holland can keep him behind for as long as possible. But yeah, punts and Bonnie both have really good pace, and that Toyota on the one stop is definitely something I wasn't expecting at least. So I mean, it's not over. We've still got 22 hours to go, 50 in this stint. So anything can happen in this race.
Yeah, certainly. Such a long way to go, indeed. And sure that luck will come back round. Let's focus on the other teams. It looks like Holland here coming under pressure a bit from Rick Holt. We'll have to see what he can do. But I think Jordi's doing the first 2 stints for you. How is he feeling in the car at the moment? Have you been talking to him? Is he feeling good?
Yeah, pretty cool, pretty calm. I don't know if you've mentioned it, but he's done a few iRacing 24-hour races, endurance races in the past. So he knows what he's doing. He's probably the most experienced endurance racer in our team. So it's probably all about keeping a cool head with him. He's doing the first 2 stints, as you say. So yeah, P3 I'd say is the target so far. Hopefully we can keep Rick Holt behind. And also unfortunate for Thunder getting caught up in some incident as well. I didn't quite see what happened there, but him running in 5th place.
Well, I suppose the good thing about the lobby resetting every 3 hours roughly is that because Thunder's still on the same lap, he will essentially be, well, right behind you guys still. So, yeah, interesting that we've got all 3 Group 1 cars still on the lead lap, so we'll have to see how that plays out later on in the race, indeed in this stint. But yeah, thank you Nancy. We're going to let you get back to your team now, and yeah, hopefully it all goes well for you guys down at Virgin Racing.
Thank you. Hopefully we might see you later in the stints as well.
Indeed.
Oh, what an insightful interview there with XNIDG, the, I guess you could say, head of Virgin Racing. They're currently running, I believe, P3 with Holland. It said P4 there, and they didn't realise that their driver had actually gone up a place due to Rick Holt pitting. Punts is obviously remaining in P2, but he has set the fastest lap of this 3-hour stint.
Speaking about remaining in position, one person who's not trying to do that at the moment is Rick Holt. He is all over Holland once again after boxing for that fuel and tyres. He's now all over the back of Holland in the stats for P3. As they head across the line now to start lap number 37 for them. Car number 21, the RWD car, closing all the time with fresh tyres. Can he make a move potentially into turn 1?
Yeah, well, I think this could be very, very interesting. If, well, anything changes here in the order. You know, we're just talking to X9G, he's cheering on Holland and clearly in his ear somehow, and might now be encouraging Holland to get a little bit of a move on here and try and keep Rick Holt behind. But Punts has got that fastest lap of 3 minute 28.47. It's not a bad lap time.
On that last lap, 2.4 seconds quicker than Bonnie. That just shows the amount of pace that he has in that Toyota at the moment.
Yeah. Very, very interesting stuff going on here. For sure.
Holland's still ahead of Wiggly. We'll see for how much longer though, as Holland gets in the slipstream of the Viper, pulls out and goes past. Will Wiggly be able to follow him? Rick Holt, be able to follow him. Let's stay in the slipstream of the Porsche, but actually lives to save some fuel here. So Rick Holt playing the long game, saving some fuel behind Holland, and just doing the same pace as him.
Could be very, very interesting, I think, come the end of this race. I think it'll still be very close come the end.
Oh, and Bonnie, I thought Bonnie was coming into the pits there, but no, he stays out for another lap. I think just trying to minimise that pit stop time that they have to do, that BCMR.
Well, I'm keeping an eye on Believable right now because the lap times being set by Punts is so much quicker than Believable right now.
I think Punts found 1.1 seconds on that last lap to Bonnie, so maybe a sign that Bonnie should come into the pits and try and hunt down that deficit that Team BCMR will have to track stars out on the circuit. Oh, but we've got Rick Holt and Holland here encountering some traffic going into the Porsche curves. As now Rick in and behind the Virgin Racing car. They almost clip inside each other there momentarily. Is now Rick Holt trying to look for a move here. Still staying behind his Dutch rival. So actually what this is allowing Thunder to do here, Byron, is actually close up to the back of these two. Let's see if that last lap time was a 26.5 for Holland and a 26.4 for Rick. We'll see what Thunder can do as he comes across the line in a few moments' time.
Well, Thunder's had a very bad one.
Did somebody spin there?
Yeah, Lee's.
Oh no. Oh, Lee's.
Yeah.
Right, so for Thunder, what's going to be for him? It's a 3:23.4, yeah, so almost 2 seconds a lap faster. Rick clipped the grass there and then he went round going onto the Mulsanne.
Very interesting stuff going on right now. Right. Benevil's still yet to come into the pits. Rick Holt still closing up on Holland. In fact, they're very close now.
Oh, they're side by side actually going into the Porsche cars.
Yeah, Rick Holt got past, but they were very, very argy-bargy. Very, very argy-bargy.
Yeah,
So, not leaving anything on the table.
Yeah, not giving each other a quarter here at all.
Yeah, well, you would expect them not to give each other any room at all. Because, that's what F1... Well, not F1, that's just what racing drivers do. They just don't give each other room. And, well, that's exactly what happened here. Didn't give each other much to work with. They tried. They tried indeed. However, on this occasion, it certainly did not work out great. Well, for either of them, they both clearly lost some time, I'd guess. So yeah, this is looking very, very interesting as it stands. Also, there's still people being very loud outside my house.
I know, right? As Thunder, Diswood, and Maverick all into pits. A very busy pit lane here all of a sudden, with 43 minutes left to run in this stint.
Oh yeah, Thunder, Diswood, and Maverick all into the pits on the same lap. Very interesting. Thunder's in a bit of a lonely place.
Yeah, he is a bit of a loner right now there, down in P5 at the moment, but it's just one of the products of a long-term endurance race. You do get that damage, you do get unfortunate incidents, and now Thunder back in and putting some more fuel in that car. But I think he stayed on the same, no, he's gone to new tyres as well.
Yeah, interesting. What's going on? Well, we're getting our way through the action here. We are really getting through the action, as Benevil is surely going to be coming into the pit lane very, very shortly. If I would expect it to be this lap, and it is this lap. Look at me. It's almost like
Psychic Byron.
Exactly how it is. There we go. Into the pit lane comes Benevil from P1. This could be a very interesting challenge, whether Benevil can climb it back and get back ahead. I actually want to put my money on no. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to. Benevil get back into P1 come the end of this.
Bonnie is going to be a long way behind. Got about 10 laps left to go, or about 12 laps left to go in this race. Don't forget, one lap is about 3 minutes long, so we're going to have to wait and see how much time Bonnie loses. So they've just started putting the fuel in now to the VCMR Audi. He comes back out onto the track, and 25 seconds now behind Punts. So Bonnie's got to go pedal to the metal now and try and chase down that gap.
Yeah, you'd certainly expect them to really be pushing now. You're getting a lot later on into the Grand Prix, and you just really want to be maximising every single second now, as we're getting later and later on into this Grand Prix, and got to maximise every single second now, so you don't lose out come the end of this race. So going towards this kind of the more nervous part of this race, I think, really. That is
the business end of the race.
The business end, exactly. That is what we are working our way towards. We're getting towards the juicy bits. Yes, they don't say, but you know, now I'm making them say it. So we're getting towards the juicy bit. And it's when we're really going to see cars come alive. And yeah, right now you've got Punts leading pretty convincingly.
And yeah, update in the chat, car number 22, the Porsche. That is a blue and black Porsche LLP3. For them, that would be 50 added seconds to their race time. That's 5-0 for causing multiple collisions in this stint. So that's not the Atom Racing car, that is the Porsche.
That's very good clarification there needed, because well, we had a bit of a interesting.
Yeah, that's why I've been quiet for so long. I've just been trying to get the opinions of the stewards in the chat.
Well, understandable. We've got the opinion from the stewards, and the stewards say it was not okay. And hence why...
The stewards decree it was not okay. That is the best I've ever heard anyone put that.
99% of stewards agree that that was not okay.
9 out of 10 stewards.
9 out of 10 stewards say Lee should get a 50-second time penalty. Well, exactly that has happened, and, well, in the bin, because now penalty has been given. Unlucky. Unlucky indeed. But I guess...
So,
yeah.
Punt's leading the way. Bonnie not really gaining that much time on him as well. Well, that being said, it's the 3 minute 18.7, so then I take that back. He gained about 5 seconds on that last lap.
Never underestimate the power.
Never underestimate the BCMR master plan.
Never. Wow. Still the fastest lap for Punts. Still leading the way pretty convincingly.
Oh, there's at least off the track there as well. Yeah. Oh, as Rick Holt actually does the fastest first sector of anybody, so that's interesting at this late stage. It actually gives us a chance to have a look at the live timing that we can see up on the screen as well. As we've got Punts doing a lap, as Bonnie has actually gone 4 tenths quicker and Punts in sector 2, 2 tenths quicker in sector 3. Now they'll go into sector 4. We'll see what the gap is looking like. Actually see on the circle map where each driver is as well.
Wow. This is all spicing up a little bit, I think. I'm not exactly sure what is going on track. I was a bit busy looking at potential ideas for meme pages. Yeah, because I'm that bored. And I've got 6 weeks of doing nothing because it's the holidays here in the UK. So yeah, broke up yesterday. Very happy. Now I think I'm going to do an F1 meme page. Hence why I was very...
You're going to start an F1 meme page?
Why not? Must make sure I get ahead of Buo F1A. 5,000 followers easy.
9,000 followers easy.
Yeah, 5,000 followers, no problem.
I'm sure Evan is listening to this commentary and be like, oh yeah, well, we'll see. Well, I believe you should have ND with you for the next stint. I think. because I'm definitely not going to be able to be here. So worst comes to worst, Byron will have to just do it by himself.
Oh, okay.
No, joking. Right, I'm going to @ND and see if he still is
He,
if not, then I think Dan will be joining you.
Oh, not bothered either way. If Andy's there, that'd be great. Oh. We are looking great here.
Right, so already we're about 4 minutes behind schedule, but you know, it's what it is.
Yeah. Oh well. I guess. We knew it was never going to go swimmingly, and that's exactly how it's happened.
And Bonnie now responding with the fastest sector 1 time of absolutely anybody. He's now 21 seconds behind, so has gained 4 seconds in the last 2 laps. So Bonnie really on it now in this last half hour of lobby of Stint 1. As Antonio has just joined the lobby, and Holland Campion is in. I believe this will be for a fresh set of tyres. So that strategy that Natty was talking about doesn't look like it's quite worked, unfortunately, for their team.
Someone said stop messaging me whilst racing. I'm not sure who that is. Someone's getting a bit annoyed.
Yeah, I think Lee's maybe in the chat. Casima's getting annoyed with Lee's.
It's fine. I'm messaging Evan, and I think he's probably trying to get ready for his race. I'm there like, what do you think about this? It's like, And then I just realise.
Yeah, unfortunate for those two there, as Holland catches a bit of air as he went down the hill. And Thunder coming across Lee's. But luckily Lee's is ghosted this time, so it's all good. Yeah, Thunder suits around the outside, no problems this time. As Lee's massively misses the braking zone there.
Oh, I don't think Benevil's got the fastest lap now. However, I don't think Benevel is gonna get the race win. Well, not the race win.
The Stint win.
The Stint win, yeah.
So it could be first blood to track stars here, maybe.
I think it is. I mean, I'm not. It won't be in the. Oh, it would be in the Group 3 category too. Winning in both categories in Stint 1 would be a pretty good way to kick it off.
Indeed, putting like a master strategy here, though. I do feel kind of sorry for you, though, Byron, because you've got to do a whole other stint.
It's fine. I've got to find a way to eat somehow in that as well, so,
Yeah, I've just decided that I'm not going to eat till after my stints are over now, apparently.
Interesting stuff here.
31 minutes left to go in this session. Can Bonnie find enough time on punts? Roughly 2.2 seconds a lap faster, so should be within striking distance in about 10 laps. You don't need AWS to tell you that. But yeah, so Bonnie
however, 10 laps time, right? 10 laps time would be after the race.
That is true. Yeah, we've got 30 minutes left, so yeah, in 10 laps that would be literally the last lap. So Bonnie might need to pick up the pace a little bit here, basically.
Yeah, that's what we're getting at. You'd need to be picking up the pace if you want to do that. And someone's just said "whoa" in the chat.
I bet that was Evan.
No, it was Michael.
Oh, it was Michael O'Gorman. Hello, Michael.
Hello,
So,
Michael.
yeah, let's go and chat. How are you guys enjoying the race so far? We had that start, had a little bit of chaos. We've had 2 cars fall back a bit with damage. One of them, the PMT racing car, currently on screen. But yeah, how have you guys found it so far?
I mean, I hope they say they enjoy it, because, like, commentary, you know, has obviously been incredible.
Yes, definitely. Dynamic duo, like, forget Tiger Assassin. As Bonnie now moves to the inside and gets past one of the Vipers.
There it is. Driving one-handed, apparently.
Ah, that does,
that
sounds difficult.
Yeah, I don't know how do you manage that? That is my question. Like, how do you hold the controller and drive one-handed?
Mike was saying, lads, this is looking good. I'm not sure what team he's referring to. Oh, whilst it might look good that they're in 5th, Mike, unfortunately they're last in class because the next car is Diswood, who's in Group 3. So it is looking kind of good.
It's looking good and bad at the same time.
Lee's actually unfortunately received an injury when he spun. His stump got stuck in his wheel, and yeah, he's damaged his. I think that's why he's driving one-handed.
Oh, well, he apparently got engine damage. Or his team got engine damage. Punts is still looking very good out in front.
And starting to pick up the pace a little bit himself as well. It was a 3-minute 22.3 on that last lap for the Australian. What is it for Bonnie? 3:20.9. So Bonnie's pace starting to fade a little bit, but still over a second quicker a lap than Punts. But you get the feeling that he's going to need a little bit more than that to properly close up.
Yeah, it's certainly going to need quite a bit more pace to close up, especially considering, you know, you've got to get within a few seconds and then overtake. You can't, you know, you can't just be near the car, you've got to get past the car, so...
That is the aim. You are describing racing right now, Byron.
Yes. let me describe racing. Gets past cars.
Who gets overtake other cars. Wow, that is why he's a 7-time Formula 1 world champion.
That is why Lewis Hamilton is so good. He just knows overtake cars. See, if Max Verstappen knew how to overtake cars, you know, he would win 7 world championships.
That is simply facts. Wow, you're spitting bare facts right now. Like, there's nothing else there but facts. Oh, it's a punt, sorry. Just nudging the back of Simon, I've just seen on the stream. No damage done there, luckily, to either car. Or I'm trying not to be biased in my commentary, but obviously I'd really like for Bonnie to close the gap, because that's currently my car that he's in.
Lees, you are currently 10 laps down. You will be looking at finishing on about lap 40,
so
roughly.
What's that? What's 26 divided by 3? That's gonna be like 8 or 9.
I knew this comment was coming after I said about how you know, Max doesn't know how to overtake, and then some guy called Timo goes, "Let's avoid the fact
Timo
Lewis and Max crashed when Lewis tried to overtake."
Well, the fact is he tried to overtake, and where did Max finish? Exactly. So I think that was a successful overtake. I mean, no one said how you have to overtake. What matters that you overtake.
This is facts.
Exactly. You see, we're just spitting facts. As Bonnie, I think, has heard our demands to pick up the pace, because he definitely is now 4 tenths up on his own personal best and indeed fastest lap of the race overall. But yeah, surprisingly, all of our Group 1 cars still on the lead lap. We'll see what that looks like come the end of the lobby. was Bonnie's lost some time there getting past one of the Group 3 cars. I lost some time to punts anyway. Hello, Patrick. Oh, that's Ted, yeah. Hi, Ted.
Down to Ted.
Natty says he might use that theory in the next stint. Who's commentating? It's me, Tucson028, and Byron. We're your two commentators for this first stint. But now I'm going to be hopping in the BCMR car for the second one, and hopefully, as Bonnie smashes the fastest lap there for 19.6, hopefully we'll have Bonnie and ND in the commentary box for stint number 2. So that's how it's running at the moment, Mike. Exactly, Ted. If you can't beat them, hit them. Exactly. I couldn't agree more.
What? Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay.
One thing that's actually quite interesting is that this wood is about 4 laps behind Thunder, which is quite interesting. It's only about 12 minutes difference between those two. It's Boy F1 driver. He gave me the he's not driving at the moment. So Evan is on PMT Racing. They're currently in 5th. Thunder's driving that car at the moment. I'm not entirely sure when Evan is jumping in or Boy F1 is jumping in. But yeah, he's not driving at the moment, but he will be in some of the later stints. Yeah, the gap out in front, it's still coming down here, Byron. 13.7 seconds now between the two. In fact, they're both on the same straight now, although around the bottom that's not really saying much.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, the straights here are stupidly long, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not exactly surprising in any way. But yes. Very interesting stuff here. As we're getting into, I don't think we're getting into the business end, really.
We are both not from Ireland, Mike. We're definitely not from Ireland. I'm from London, and I'm not sure where Byron's from.
I am also not from Ireland.
Yeah,
I will tell you that much.
Last time I checked, I was definitely not Irish. But it could change, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Well... This is getting very interesting. Well, it's not really, in all fairness. We're kind of getting to the stage of the race, in almost like where it is in a Formula 1 race, where it's just like, there's not much happening.
But the good thing is, though, unlike the real life Le Mans, which you just keep going like this, the lobby gets reset every 3 hours. Oh! Lee's nearly has a big crash there with you and the Maverick, and that would not have been good for either their races, as Maverick looks to the outside line now, and is he past the Porsche? No, he's not going to go wheel-to-wheel into Indianapolis, and Lee's is very deep, he's wide, and he's in the gravel, and he's in the wall. And I think he does indeed have front bumper damage from that.
Yeah, it looks like it might be, I'm not sure if it's like tyre damage exactly.
I think it's suspension when it comes up with that.
Ah. Then we've got some suspension damage here.
When is the next stint lobby opening? Yeah, so for Teamer, because I'm also hosting the next lobby, what we'll do is you'll literally just use this one, so the exact same one. Yeah, don't worry about that. Lime Spotter asks Lee, so if you send a clip of your stream in, then we can give out a penalty to UNEM if the stewards see that he needs a penalty. Yeah. Oh, was now down the inside. It was very late there from Rick Holt. Actually, just take a minute here to talk about Rick's race. He's done really well to get his car from P5 in class up into P3. That's a good effort from him so far in this lobby. Always quite wide there, though, through that particular corner, but keeps it nicely on the track. Gap out in front, 10.4 seconds here between Bonnie and Punts.
Yeah.
I think we've got about 6 or 7 laps left to go in this race. So Bonnie still needs rough. Oh, as Punts nearly spins on the exit there. Yeah, Bonnie again purple through that sector. He is really pushing on there, showing really good pace in that VCMR car.
Yeah, there's some really good pace.
To go into the final 20 minutes then, and no, well, there's a few mistakes in this lobby, but no race ending ones, I hope. Let's see which cars can stay on the lead lap come the end of this stint. I'm sure Punts and Track Stars will be pushing to make an extra lap that VCMR can't do, because then obviously VCMR will go lap down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Punt's starting to respond now a little bit, maybe that gap going back up, but has just gone wide and picked up and will pick up a penalty for that, I believe. No, gets away with it. What happened to Bonnie? Interesting thing here, Ted, actually. Punts is on a one-stop strategy at the moment, so he made one stop with about 1 hour and 27 minutes left to go, and that is why he is currently leading the race. Nothing's happened to Bonnie. He's pushing on very well behind, and just done another fastest lap of the race so far. So yeah, Bonnie is just really getting on it now and trying to close down the gap to Punts.
I am here. Hang on.
7.7 seconds now between them. The gap's coming down a lot here, Byron. We could have a race on our hands come the end of this stint. Bonnie really pushing on now. Doesn't look like the Punts has got any kind of a response to the pace that he's showing.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, once this lobby is over, I'm going to make the custom grid to the next lobby. So all drivers who are driving, if they're having any driver changes for the next lobby, just make sure that you're in so I can make the custom grid as quickly as possible. We can get back to green flag racing. Yeah, so a quick rundown then of events. Bonnie led us away for the green flag after the safety car start, where I may or may not have gone into the gravel. From there, Bonnie was able to build the lead, and we had a bit of a battle behind with, between UNEM Maverick and Diswood over the Group 3 lead. Our Group 1 field was very, very close indeed, until an incident between PMT Racing and the Porsche number 22 Group 3 car took them out of contention for the time being, and then now they find themselves P5 and last best in class and 15 minutes left to run in this session. Then Punts pulling a very interesting alternate strategy and going for a one-stop, one-stinting these tyres to this point in the race. He's now coming under pressure though from Bonnie in the BCMR Audi, as he looks to claw back that time that he lost before.
Indeed. Well, it's gonna definitely come down to the last few laps. I've noticed Punts has got quite a few rear end slides going on here. He is struggling a bit. Question is, who's gonna win, basically?
Punts is 3.3 seconds slower on that lap though there, Byron. And it was another slide again there for Punts.
Yeah, he's really not having the greatest of times. Yeah, really not great, but he can certainly just...
What happened to Punts on the 46th lap? 46th lap? Nothing. He was all good, no?
Yeah, he was...
The 46th lap was one of his best laps.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just the game's a little glitchy, because for some reason the 47th lap for me right now is showing up as nothing, when...
That's weird.
But it's also showing that it's the 49th lap, so... Interesting.
But now the gap still coming down here, Byron. It's going to tick to under 4 seconds. Now, 3.9 between the top two. It's got a bit of a battle here in the final sector as well. Is this Maverick closing up to the back of this Wood, perhaps? I think it is. And at the back of the Atom Racing car as well.
This is very interesting.
13 minutes left to run in the session, so about 4 or 5 laps to go in this session. And we'll be getting the next stint underway as soon as possible. Ah, it's a visual glitch. Ah, yes, no worries about that then, yeah. It's the game is a bit weird with the timings from time to time. As you can see, our lead is on the same straight there in a great shot.
Yeah, it's getting a bit closer now.
Yeah, as now Bonnie can see the car in front be doing everything that he can to try and get BCMR back up into the lead of this race. And also to serve that penalty, I'm sure. 3.7 seconds now between the two.
Indeed. That is close a lot.
Yeah, I think Punts had a really tricky end to the lap, because he's now lost about a second just in that sector alone. As now Bonnie gaining all the time. As they go on to lap 50, the gap's 2.6 seconds and Bonnie is still gaining, so we're going to have a race on here in the dying stages of stint number 1. Just headed up into the Dunlop chicane for the 50th time. It's amazing that these drivers have done 50 laps with very little mistakes around here. That is a great effort. They can all be massively proud of that. But who's going to come out on top? Who will draw first blood in this battle for the win? Yeah, got Rick Holt about 54 seconds behind now in P3. Holland Campion about 49 seconds behind, still extending that gap back to Thunder, who's lapping Biswood, who is your Group 3 leader, sorry. So he's got his indicators on there, just saying what side of the track he's going to be going to allow the Group 1 cars to go through. Bonnie gained 1.5 seconds in the last lap. It's going to be a nice final. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a nice final few laps. Bonnie chasing down his rival in the Track Stars Racing Series Group 1 Toyota.
We've certainly got a interesting end to this. Just got 9 minutes of running left, which is about, well, not even about 3 laps-ish left of this lobby, and we've still got plenty of action that could happen in that time. Plenty that could happen. Question is, what will happen?
Exactly.
Well, we've got very little time left.
8 minutes. I think that's going to be 2 more laps then. So Bonnie's got 2 laps to try and get past Punts and go back up into P1. And things are really hotting up here at the deck of Stint 1. 9/10 now, but that's under a second. So Bonnie will be feeling the effects of that slipstream, but more importantly, the dirty air as well, as he's still gaining. He's got that 1.9 second penalty, and Punts picks up a 5/10 penalty as well. But crucially, the game will round to the nearest second. So if Punts still has that 5/10 penalty, it will round up to a second, and for Bonnie it will round up to 2 seconds as it stands at the moment there. As Punts goes wide once again, could this be a chance for Bonnie going up into the Dunlop chicane perhaps? Not going to be. Looks like the Toyota just about has the edge in straight line speed down the main straight to maintain that gap. Oh, but Bonnie sliding on the front tires. You can see the effects of that dirty air already.
Yeah, just 8 tenths in it as it stands, so it's certainly getting very hairy in the latter stages of this race. That is very, very interesting as it stands.
But now here comes Bonnie. Punts has gone defensive. Bonnie's going to have to work it to the outside line. Makes the move work around the outside and puts that car back up into P1. The hunt is successful, but now can Punts fight back in this battle for supremacy in the first stint? He breaks late. Bonnie breaks even later though, and he's gone wide. That's going to give Punts the cutback, and he now goes back past and in front of the Audi. They're still battling hard here over first and second positions in this race. As now Bonnie back in the slipstream once again, you can see the gap closing 4 tenths, 3 tenths even in the slip as it gets stronger. As going to the next of the 2 moles and chicanes, Punts moves very late. Is Bonnie going to send it down the outside? Yes, he is. And they're going to go around the outside. There's contact between the 2, and can he kind of find a way to get back onto the inside? No, he cannot, as Bonnie has to stick behind Punts there in second position.
Yeah, it's really getting very, very hairy in these last dying laps. You said about doing about 53 laps in the race, and that is literally what we are going to be doing in this race. So you've actually got it spot on. So yeah.
And now then down this mini straight into Indianapolis, is Bonnie going to go for a move here? Perhaps it's going to be a ballsy one. If he does, he's going to go for it. Has a jink to the inside. There's contact between the 2. Is Bonnie going to send it into Indianapolis? I would strongly advise against that. She's having a look. As Punts is wide. Going to go for a move here. Looks to the outside. Punts gives him the room. Gives him the space and the respect, but they get very screwed momentarily on exit there. I'm not sure if Bonnie tapped punts round, but now look at the deployment on the Toyota down this straight. The Audi has got nothing to play with down here, as it hasn't been able to charge the battery properly. And with only 5 minutes left to go, I think we're going to get 2 more laps from these two, and that will be the end of the race. Both of them now having almost similar penalties as well. Oh, but Punt is very slow now. Bonnie's round the outside on the inside into the end of the Porsche curve, and Punt is off. Punt is off, he's in the gravel. That's going to be a major factor in this race. Punt's off and into the gravel trap, and Bonnie takes the lead there. And big drama at the end of this lobby.
Yeah, big drama here. Really very interesting.
Oh, and Punt nearly loses the car again and hits the pit wall.
This has not been a great end for him, has it?
That was massive. It's going to be an interesting one. We'll have to save the replay, and I'm sure the studios will be having a look at that one, because that could potentially have the possibility to massively affect the outcome of this race.
Indeed.
Yeah, so Bonnie now 6.1 seconds ahead of Punts. That was a big incident there. Did he get pushed or lost the back? To be honest, Cedric, I couldn't really tell you. I think it may be just a racing incident, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure both teams will be claiming in the chat and seeing what happened. Was that report?
I think he's saying he's going to report it. Clearly something he wasn't happy about.
But yeah, that was a big one there for those two. But yeah, no Punts Reno F1, that's done. He's also streaming his POV at the moment over on his YouTube, and I'm sure his teammates will be doing the same.
Yeah, well, Beneville is basically at the end of this race. 3 hours nearly done. By the looks of it, we will get a lap 54, providing Beneville isn't incredibly sluggish through this last bit of a lap. It's not last lap. It's not last lap, because Beneville will cross the line and start lap number 54.
Yes, indeed. He will all punts again, sliding into Indianapolis. I think those tyres are really shot there, as now Bonnie's overtaking the entirety of the Group 3 field. Oh no! Punt's front bumper damage after an incident with Lees at the Porsche curves.
Another incident for Lees as well.
And Punt's has got front bumper damage there. I think that's just miscommunication between the two, but yeah, Lees earlier on the brakes and Punt was expecting, and he's got bumper damage now. I assume he'll stay out, because there's no point coming in now if there's so little left in the lobby. But yeah, Punt's with a front bumper damage at the end of this lobby.
Indeed.
That's not going to be helping his performance whatsoever.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I have to wait and see if there's going to be a few claims coming into the chat in a minute.
You'd expect it. You would expect it.
So Simon has finished his race. He's going to be quite a few laps down, I think, on the leaders in Group 3. But I think it's going to be Bonnie. He's going to take the win here, although it isn't Ghost Mode at the moment. I hope that wasn't to send a message. Yeah, it's going to be Holland who crosses the line there as well. So all of the cars from Holland and down will be a lap down on the Group 1 leaders.
Indeed. Well, this is all very, very interesting. Benevil will obviously likely take the top spot unless something drastic happens here. There's well, we've still got quite a few drivers yet to cross the finish line, but Benevil will be your Group 1 Stint 1 winner. Yeah, very interesting. Obviously, this is all very, very interesting so far. I've still got another stint to do. So
Indeed you do.
I'll be here for the next few hours. Yeah. Interesting, right? Very interesting.
So yeah, it's going to be Bonnie then, who takes the final few corners of the lap. And yeah, he is going to take the win here in the first stint. Don't go anywhere because we've got 7 more of these to go. So yeah, I'm hopping in the car for the next one. And yeah, I'll see you there.
Indeed, well, thank you obviously very much for coming alongside me to Saint.
Absolutely no problem.
You
yeah.
are a chicken dipper. That is.
Thank you very much. Alright.
That is about as good as you get.
I am going to head off and get the next one ready. So goodbye everybody, and yeah, I'll see you back probably tonight for some later stints. Goodbye everyone.
Well, that concludes the first race of 8. 8 3-hour stints will all come here. We're just waiting for Rick Holt to cross the finish line. I think he'll be the... No, Lees will be the last one to cross the finish line. Rick Holt will come across the line in 3rd place, and then 9th will be Lees, as Rick Holt celebrates a pretty good podium there. And Lees will be down in 9th, being the last finisher overall and the last finisher in the Group 3 category. And that just about concludes the first race of, well, as I said, 8 3-hour stints here. And we are already, as mentioned, 5 minutes behind schedule. So yeah, very, very interesting stuff. But here we go. All 9 drivers now having crossed the line. The results are confirmed. And here, well, there was the results. There you go. Victory for Benevil, who takes the victory here. And that concludes. Very interesting. As you already see, people are filling in for, I believe, replacements, I believe. I'm not exactly sure if we're staying in this lobby or not. There you go, Thunder's gone. Some people are going to be getting food and that in between. So it's all going to be very good. So, all very interesting stuff there for the first race. I've got a little while to go. Is anyone practicing yet? No one's gone out. This is waiting for the lobby change. Asking for a quick little break between the sessions, which is a reasonable thing to ask for, because some drivers are doing the double stints, which is an absolute mad thing to do. I mean, there I am doing double commentary stints, but I will be loading up a second stream in just a few moments, as we're going to look to get underway for the second stint of 8. So I will be loading up the second stint stream in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in just a moment. See you in a minute.